Welcome back, Warriors, to yet another Battlefield 2042 video. I'm your commanding officer, Major Doodleman149, and today I'll be going over every game mode and map we know about so far for Battlefield 2042. I'll first be covering the modes we will have available at launch, followed by the maps we know of, before being concluded by my opinions on the matter. I won't keep you any longer than necessary, so let's get through this briefing. First off, we have the tried and true Conquest game mode that all veterans of the battlefield should know. This mode will focus on multiple objectives across huge maps with access to any number of vehicles and a variety of engagement locales. The second mode we know of is Breakthrough, otherwise known as Operations from Battlefield 1. One team defends, one team attacks. Attackers need to capture objectives to advance, while defenders just need to drop the attackers' reinforcements to zero. We then have Hazard Zone, something that's only being described as a high-risk, high-reward mode with a focus on squad play. And lastly, we have Battlefield Portal. Please refer to the link attached to this video or the one in the top right corner of your HUD for further information on that. All intel we currently possess points to several different locations across the world, primarily taking place in Asia. First off, we have Kaleidoscope, a South Korean city that focuses the fight between massive skyscrapers and a long Central Park style of area that runs the center of the map. This map was prominently featured to have tornadoes in the release trailer. Manifest looks to be a mix between close quarters and open areas, as the fight here takes place entirely on a shipping dock in Singapore. Reports indicate that the cranes in the area will still be active, so keep an eye out for shipping containers being moved. I don't need any of you coming home flatter than when you left. This map was also featured in the trailer. Orbital, one of the main features of the trailer, focuses fighting around a rocket launch in French Guiana. Most likely, similarly to the ventilation tower on Caspian border, this rocket can be sabotaged in order to inflict massive damage to the surrounding area. This rocket can, however, still launch safely as intended. Also showcased in the trailer, Discarded is a front focused entirely on the abandoned shipyards of India, where receding ocean levels have caused a number of ships to be grounded, becoming rusted out fortresses in their own right. Rumor has it that a submarine still rests below the surface, so expect to fight a vicious subterranean battle while I command a tank on the battlefield above. Renewal takes place in Egypt and is the site of a strong effort by the Egyptian government to renew some of the deserts that have overtaken the world. Split perfectly in half by a wall, Renewal is split into two distinct combat areas: the lush green renewed section and the desert half that houses a solar array. Heavily showcased in both the reveal and gameplay trailers, Operation Hourglass takes place in Qatar as massive sandstorms ravage the region. This is reported to be one of the larger maps available and will most likely see our forces facing off against the enemy in the desert surrounding the city, as well as fighting over the towering skyscrapers themselves. The final map, that was the first piece of intel we received from the reveal trailer, is Breakaway. This massive map on the Antarctic continent will be very reminiscent of Final Stand maps from Battlefield 4. Given the prevalence of weather-related events to befall our forces in other areas, I would keep an eye out for incoming blizzards that could very well freeze you out at the very least, or completely blind you. I feel I should also mention the maps included with Battlefield Portal. We have the Battle of the Bulge from 1942, El Amiens from 1942, Arica Harbor from Bad Company 2, Valparaiso from Bad Company 2, Caspian Border from Battlefield 3, and Noshar Canals from Battlefield 3. Now, ladies and gents, we get to the controversial portion of this video, my opinions. In regards to the game modes, as I've stated before, I'm honestly disappointed at the limited number of modes released with this title. Touting 3, or 4 if you include Portal, modes at launch, DICE seems to forget that Battlefield 4 had 7 unique modes at launch and it had 10 maps. You could include the 6 Portal maps to stretch Battlefield 2042's total map count to 13. However, when you consider that Battlefield 4 came out 8 years ago, almost a decade, and had arguably more content than this installment does, it leaves a bitter taste in my mouth. All the maps look great, and I'm eager to try the new and old modes for Battlefield, but the fact that this installment feels so stripped down is a disappointment. Now, I must again rag on Battlefield Portal. This mode claims to be a love letter to Battlefield veterans, supposedly an amalgamation of multiple fan-favorite maps from across the series. However, given there are 11 games under Battlefield's belt, we receive only 6 maps from 3 different games. One of these maps being Caspian Border, which was already part of Battlefield 4's Second Assault DLC, meaning this is the second remaster of this map. I'm honestly surprised there isn't more variety here, but again, this will probably not be a mode that I put much time into regardless. I feel I've pointed out enough negatives at this point. It's time for your CO to get more positive. I am very much looking forward to finding out what Hazard Zone is. I hope with all my being that this isn't just another Battle Royale-esque mode. What I'm really hoping for is potentially 4v4 game modes where squad work is key, or even a multi-squad large mode that would almost function like squad deathmatch, or perhaps even domination with multiple squads as separate teams. Conquest will remain my bread and butter, but I am truly excited for these new maps, however few they may be. Perhaps some free updates down the line will gift us with more to sink our teeth into. And so, ladies and gents, this briefing is concluded. What are your thoughts on these new maps and game modes? Feel free to tell me I'm wrong about Portal yet again, or let me know your opinions on things in general down in the comments. I'm looking forward to this new game more than anyone in my life probably knows, so I'm really hoping my worries are abated. But with that, I've been your CO, Major Doodleman 149, and until our next briefing, you are all dismissed!